Achyuta Keshava Harinarayana Achyuta Keshava Harinarayana Bhavabhayaharana Vandita Charana Bhavabhayaharana Vandita Charana Raghukula Bhushana Rajiva Lochana Raghukula Bhushana Rajiva Lochana Adinarayana Anantashayana Adinarayana Anantashayana Achyutananda Shri Satyanarayana Achyutananda Shri Satyanarayana Atma Rama Anandaramana Achyuta Keshava Harinarayana Achyuta Keshava Harinarayana. Today being Vaikuntha Ekadashi, we started with Narayana Nama. So we'll now start. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Yontah Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prasuptam Sanjeevayatyakila Shaktidharaswadhamna Anyan Swahastacharana Shravanatvagadin Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Dikkaladyanavachinna Anantachinmatramurtaye Swanubhutyekamanaya Namashantaya Tejase Sarvastaratu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarvasukhamavapnotu Sarvasarvatra Nandatu. So we have seen that leisure is not really what we are interested in. We think that leisure in terms of time, leisure in terms of freedom from a need to do something which is the regular routine, freedom from that is what we think we seek. But then that leisure is used to do something else so that the pleased me somehow emerges. And this pleased I, when it emerges, we don't know, but we have observed some patterns in life, wherein in certain situations this pleased me seems to emerge. And we like to see that pleased me. We like to be that pleased person. So what are we looking for? We are looking for situational changes to make the pleased self appear. Make me happy, in other terms. And that is when I am relaxed, I am at ease, And that is the inner leisure, the leisure to be comfortable being just myself. But the attribution is that leisure is coming from a situation, is the result of a situation, result of an achievement, result of an object, something like that, not centered on me. Fundamental problem is it is not centered on me. Therefore, I need to do something in order to gain that pleased me. And we saw that this pleased me is not something that always happens even though I try to make that situation happen again. There is no guarantee that the same situation will bring out the pleased me. There is no such guarantee. While I try, it may happen, it may not happen. This is the variability. And we don't know how to actually make sure that all the things I want happen the way they do. They may not. So like one may start to come here and one may not be able to make it because there's some other call in between. There's an emergency, please come home. You may have to go back. One may come and still one may not be able to, be in the right frame of mind to understand what is being said. And sometimes nice air-conditioned hall, you sit back, good chairs, push back a little, and then what comes is sleep. Very relaxing. That can also happen. So I'm saying, what will make things happen, we don't know. So what is it that determines the outcome of any action? Is the outcome of an action in my hand? Or is the outcome of an action something which I do not have control over? So we saw that while the effort, the initiative, the ability to respond to situations is my freedom, what the outcome is not entirely determined by me. What did we see? If you drop this, it only comes down. I want it. Please go up. Please go up. It doesn't go. So if I ask you all now, please clap. So what do we find now? Some of you clapped. Some of you didn't clap. Right? It's your choice. And now I say, somebody said, Namaste. Namaste. Now, fellow says, say Namaste, but, it should not make a noise. How to say Namaste without making a noise? Once you do this, there is no control over what happens, right? If you don't want noise, what do you have to do? You have to do this. If you do this and then say no noise, what will happen? Your wish is that there should be no noise, but noise is not avoidable. Why? Because that is a law of physics. It's a law. And the law does not respect my wish. No law will respect my wish. My wish gives me only freedom in terms of my action. Freedom in terms of my response to situations. I do not have freedom over situations I find myself in. I do not have freedom over what my actions will lead to, what the next situation will be. I have no freedom. So, who determines this? What determines this? So, in that context, we brought in Ishvara. Not only the one who determines what the outcome will be, but also Ishvara as the cause for all that is here. One single cause, both maker and material. And Veda is like a user manual given by Ishvara by which I understand reality of myself, the world, and things which I cannot know with my perception and inference. And we saw that any action can produce a twofold outcome. One is what you see, called drishtaphalam. Another is adrishtam, what is not seen. In adrishtam, that which is favorable to me and that which is not favorable to me. Punya and papa. And these are also at play. So at any point in time, what is the outcome of action depends on a whole number of things. What's in my control? My immediate initiative, my effort. That's in my hand. The laws are not in my hand. The outcome of my past karmas manifesting as punya or papa is not in my hand. They are also laws, what we call, which we have to look into, the law of karma. So what is Ishvara we saw? Ishvara is all knowledge. What do you mean by all knowledge? The whole universe, to make the universe, we need to have the know-how to make the universe and we need the material cost to make the universe. And both of these rolled into one is what we call Ishvara, both maker and the material, like in a dream. And we saw that sentient to insentient, insentient can come from one source. It's a possibility. Insentient can come from sentient, sentient can come from insentient. Right? So what is Ishvara is the law. What does it mean by law? There is a definite, predictable connection between a cause and an effect. And this is how the whole world runs. So if I open this bottle and I did this, the water will go down. It won't fly up, right? If I have a wheel and I put it, it will roll. Rolling friction will be less than static friction. This is a law. You can't change these. And the laws are not only in the physical world. We saw there are laws in chemistry. There are laws in biology. There are laws in astronomy. And there is also the law which governs the human mind, very important for us, which we study as psychology. So what is psychology? A science which tries to check what is the connection between the background and behavior of a person. And with that, we are able to see why a person behaves the way he or she does. Which means if a person behaves in a given way, who is responsible for it? Is the person responsible for it? At that moment, it is the background behavior law which takes care of it. We have some say, but not everything. So anger, it does not come asking our permission. Can I come? No. It shows up. And when it shows up, what do I have? What choice do I have? If I can see the anger coming, perhaps I can prevent or subdue an untoward response stemming from anger. I might be able to manage the expression of my anger, but if I tell you, don't get angry, when somebody is getting angry, you tell him, don't get angry, what happens? I'm not getting angry, is what you'll probably hear. Because fellow doesn't admit, he says, I'm not angry, and the voice will tell you that he is angry. So anger, is it in my hand? It's not. Helplessness, is it in my hand? I feel helpless at times. I feel frustrated. Is it in my hand? No. I feel ashamed. Is it in my hand? It's not in our hand. You feel happy. Is that in your hand? That's also not in your hand. Things seem to happen. That's how we see it, right? Everything just happens. So what say do I have over my emotions in life? What say do I have over situations that unfold in my life? Do I have a say or no? If we look with just perception and inference as a base of knowledge, I have no say. But then the Vedas says that you can have a say. Because your knowledge will tell you, whatever you know about yourself and the world will shape your attitudes in life, your values in life. and your freedom is in terms of action. Between these two, we can make our life more meaningful. But before we get there, I want to dwell a little more on Ishvara. So we understand what is Ishvara clearly, because unless we understand Ishvara, it's very difficult to understand how inner leisure is possible. So now, when I say Ishvara is the cause of everything, what happens now? There's a cause and there's an effect. Now I'll give you one more thing to say about this. Ishvara, without undergoing any change, manifests as the world. Without undergoing any change. Do you understand? Now, this chain, is it away from gold? Has gold changed to become a chain? Yes or no? Yes? Somebody says yes. If it has changed, then what will happen? You will go to the goldsmith and you paid for 100 grams of gold. And now when you go back to make something else, what will he say? There is no gold in it. Will you buy that? What will you tell him? No, it was 100 grams, it better be 100 grams. I gave it to you last time. If there's no gold, it's you who cheated. That's what I will tell the person, right? What is this? Can you see? What is this? Laddu? Does it look like laddu or not? Okay, now, what is this now? What is this now? Chapati, okay? Naan, I'm making a naan, okay? Not very skilled. All right? Now what happens? You watch. Now I'm going to make a vade. What is this? Vade? Is this vade or not? Look, the color also is like vade. Correct? Now you tell me, what happened to my naan? What happened to the naan? Now, we'll make Shivalinga out of it. Okay? Very easy. See? Shivalinga is ready. What happened to the vade? Is it same or different? What is there in my hand? Is it vade? Is it naan? Is it Shivalinga? Is it laddu? What is it? It's clay. What is this? See, good. So now you got one more word. Pot. Where is pot? I see only clay. Where is pot? See, I'm not able to make this like that. That's why I showed you first with this. Right? What is here really? One clay. How can it manifest as? You want me to make two things here? Now, Dvaitam has walked in. Two things are there. Okay? And this can be one thing, this can be a bit, and this can be a hammer to beat it with. Possible? Are there two? Look at what you count. Are there two? There are two what? Two pieces. Now how many? Three. Now how many? Four. Now how many? What are you counting? What are you counting? You are counting numbers separated by something. Correct? But what is, suppose I say, count the real thing. There are four things. How many things are here? Four. All right? Now, what is the reality of this? It's clay. What is the reality of this? Clay. This. Clay. Now count. How many real things do I have? Count. One. One clay. If you say two, If Puja Swami is there, what he will tell you, Count 3. 2 is not enough. If you count 2, count 3. You tell me, how many can you count? If there is only one cause for the entire universe, how many can you count? What do we count? Question is, what is all that is here? Came from one cause. What were the 4 pieces? Came from one cause. What is that cause? Clay. What are all of these 4 pieces? The effects. Now I tell you, please show me where is clay. Where is clay? Where is clay? All of these are clay. Are you able to see that? Where will you look for clay? In the effects. The clay is never away from the cause. The effect is never away from its cause, clay. What is the whole world coming from? One Ishvara. Where is Ishvara? Where is Ishvara? But can you say that? I ask you now, have you seen Ishvara? You have to be brave and say, okay, have you seen Ishvara? What will you say? Yes or no? Huh? Yes. Have you seen the whole of Ishvara? Have you seen Ishvara? Whatever you see is Ishvara. But do you know what all is Ishvara? Am I making sense? What you see, everything is Ishvara. But what is Ishvara? Every galaxy is Ishvara. Correct? Every galaxy is Ishvara. Every star is Ishvara. The earth is Ishvara. Water is Ishvara. Sky is Ishvara. Time is Ishvara. Space is Ishvara. Do you recognize that? When you say, I know Ishvara? I may not know a lot of things. Now I ask you, what is this? A pot. What is this? Cheers. Okay. Kullad, okay? Kullad, let's call it Kullad. Lallu is Kullad. Lallu, Lallu Yadav. What is this? A cup. What is this? A lamp. What are all these? How many? Count again. How many? How many clay? One clay. All right. Now the question is, how do you know they're all one clay? How do you know? How do you recognize clay in all of them? Did you break them? How do you recognize clay? You know, by memory, probably a look of it looks like clay to you. Is there any other reason? Right? Now I showed you all this. What is this? Clay. When I showed you this, you didn't say clay. You said kullad, cup. When I show you this, you say clay. Is this not clay? What do you have for clay in your head? You think clay is one formless form. That's what you think clay is? It's a lump. This is not clay. You see how our buddhi is. We have used the word clay to mean only this. If I ask you to bring some clay, you will go and find it. You won't show me this, will you? I ask you to show Ishvara, what will you go? What will you do? What will you do? You will look for Ishvara like this somewhere, some cause, which you won't find. So what is Ishvara? When I say it's the cause, it's everywhere. But to say it's everywhere, look at this. You call this what? Chain. Then bangle. But what do you see? If I ask you what are both of these, what will you say? Both are gold. How do you know? How do you know? You see gold. Don't you see gold? You know gold in some way. Correct? What is this fabric? It's my Angavastram, but what is it? Cotton. If you touch, you know it's cotton, right? Suppose I go and touch anybody's cloth, if it's silk, I will know. Question now is, how do you know it's cotton? By the touch. You look at all the clothing in this hall and you are able to say it's all cotton. How will you say everything is Ishvara? It should not be a word. Ishvara should not be a word which means, if I say clay, it should not mean just this. What should it mean? It should mean all of these. If I say gold, it should mean all of these. If I say cotton, it should mean all of this. Don't you know cotton? Don't you know clay? Don't you know gold? So when you see gold, you are able to see gold everywhere. Now I'm saying, how do you know everything is Ishvara? How? Otherwise, it's just another word. You think I have given a synonym. For anything, you have one more name. What? Clay and Ishvara. Gold and Ishvara. Bottle and Ishvara. What meaning does it carry for you then? If that's all we say, that word has no meaning. So how do I understand Ishvara? I said, Ishvara is all knowledge. Samagra, samagram jnanam, samagram aishwaryam, samagram viryam. This is a definition, okay, of Bhagavan. Bhagavan means one who has bhaga. What is bhaga? Bhaga is totality. Totality of viryam, courage, strength, capacity. Totality of knowledge. Totality of fame, yashas. Totality of aishwaryam, overlordship. Totality of shrihi, wealth. What does that mean? It means wherever you see knowledge, that knowledge is Ishvara's knowledge. Wherever you see fame, the fame belongs to Ishvara. Wherever you see wealth, Lakshmi is always with Shri, Shripati, always with Bhagavan. Therefore, if you have any wealth and you say, this is my wealth, you are in trouble because this wealth belongs to Bhagavan. When I say all knowledge, this you should be able to understand. When I say all knowledge, you tell me what knowledge do we have? When you are born, what knowledge do you have? Newborn infant, what knowledge does it have? ABCD? Twinkle, twinkle? What knowledge does the child have? It is ignorant of the world and ignorant of itself. Correct? Now, this child is taught. Modern school, what will they teach? A for apple, B for bat. That's what you have to learn foolishly. Right? And you learn what? Great poem. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Then what happened? Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. What a great beginning. And all the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty Dumpty back on the wall again. And this is what we teach our children. How much wisdom did he get? None. But even that Humpty Dumpty is learned knowledge. Is that true or not? Knowledge doesn't exist. Now I ask you, before the child had any knowledge, does the child exist or not? It does. What is that? What is that child? Right now, if I ask you, what are you? You describe. I'll put it in very simple words. It is me plus my knowledge. Is there anything more in the world? The entire world is just I and my knowledge. Is there anything more? Think. This is not for listening and swallowing. I want you to understand what I'm saying. Is there anything more than I and my knowledge? You're awake. Your whole thought life is just your knowledge. Is it not true? Whatever comes to your mind and can come to your mind from past. Is there anything more? No. Every knowledge you have has been gained in time. True or not? You have learned every single thing. Now I ask you, before you gained any knowledge, you were there. Therefore, is knowledge part of you? Is knowledge inherent to you? If it's inherent to you, you should always be having it. Is knowledge inherent to you? If it's inherent, even when sleeping, you should have knowledge. Is it inherent to you? No. Knowledge is incidental. It happens as an event. Correct? And what did I say is Ishvara? All knowledge. All knowledge. Now you tell me, all knowledge belongs to whom? Wherever you see knowledge, what is that? Like wherever you see this touch, it is cotton. Like wherever you see this look, it's gold. Wherever you see knowledge, what is that? Is that you or is that Ishvara? Even if you say it's my knowledge, Humpty Dumpty is my knowledge, that Humpty Dumpty you learned from what is already existing in the universe, which means already there means it is Ishvara. It is given. Understand the word given. Given means I didn't create it. Okay, maybe my grandfather created, but grandfather created with some English given to him. Our grandfathers never created, by the way. We never had Humpty Dumpty. We would talk of, pratasmarami hridi samsphuradatma tattvam. That's what we will talk about. This problem we don't have, but still I'm saying, even the Humpty Dumpty, suppose you go back to, 16th century England, even that somebody created. It's born of human mind. That human mind which can create Humpty Dumpty, where did it come from? Who gave that intelligent capacity? The knowledge to be able to create a poem. Where did it come from? That capacity is given. By whom? You were born with a capacity. Who gave you that capacity? Who gave you a brain with neurons firing? Where did it come from? Did you create it? Did my grandfather create it? Did my mother create it? How did it happen? If I didn't create it, and nobody I know in the universe created, what can I say about it? I find myself endowed with it. It's given. A tree is given. Water is given. Air is given. Buddhi is given. Whether we use it or not is not given. That's our choice. But buddhi is given. Therefore, every knowledge is given or not. Because to make this brain, suppose you say, you have this, Chat GPT. Is Chat GPT intelligent or not? You can ask it a lot of questions, right? Anything you ask, it will answer it. Is it intelligent or not? Artificial intelligence. Why do you call it artificial intelligence? Where is the real intelligence? Human buddhi. The programmers who did, the Google or whoever guys, Sam Altman. Whoever did it, they put some knowledge into this artificial intelligence. Who put this intelligence here to be able to create artificial intelligence? What do you call that intelligence? If ChatGPT is artificial intelligence, you have to accept this also is artificial intelligence, okay? Where is the real intelligence? That is Ishvara. Every bit of knowledge, either directly or through some steps, is coming from Ishvara alone. Do you have any other possibility? And one more thing. Knowledge never belongs to you inherently. The possibility of knowledge is given, and every bit of knowledge you gain is coming from an existing world, which is the manifestation of Ishvara's knowledge. Now you tell me, how do you see what is Ishvara? Anything you know, anything you can come to know ever is Ishvara. Am I making sense? I'm just putting it across very differently, okay? So that you have to think. I'm not canning it the old way. If I just say order something we heard too many times, it won't work. So I'm putting it across differently. So you can see that any knowledge, I'm saying just like cottonness is there in every cotton fabric, anywhere where you see knowledge, it is Ishvara. You should recognize it. And what does Ishvara mean? It's not owned by you. It's not created by you. You are not the author of knowledge. And what is science? What are laws? They are all knowledge. Whether discovered now or yet to be discovered, anything which can ever be discovered, see the word, interestingly, it is discovered. What does discovery mean? What already is uncovered. Is there anything in science which is not discovered? What you call invention is just a human being putting together discovered things together. There is no other invention. The possibility of invention is given. Therefore, if you understand this, now if every knowledge is Ishvara, I tell you, what did I say? What do you have? Our life is what? If you describe yourself, what are you? I plus knowledge. What is remaining now? I, knowledge is Ishvara. Only two things remain, okay? I and knowledge, which is Ishvara. Now, next question is this. This knowledge, where does it reside? Where does knowledge reside? Can it reside in something? If it resides in a flower, because that knowledge, does it belong to the flower or it's Ishvara's knowledge? It's Ishvara's knowledge. Where does any knowledge reside? Where does your knowledge reside? Where does your knowledge reside? In you or somewhere else? What are you? Let me go back a little. What is a cause? We use the word cause and effect. What do you understand by the word cause? When you say, gold is the cause of this necklace, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means, before this form of chain appeared, what was there was gold. All right? But not in this form. Correct? It came into this form. All right? Now, suppose I put it in the furnace. What will happen to it? What will happen to it? Will there be a chain? So where did the chain go? Where did the chain go? It went to its cause. You understand? And what is it right now? What is the weight of the chain? It's the weight of gold. So what is the cause? That from which something comes, that into which it goes back, and that by which it is sustained. Correct? That's what a cause is. Which means an effect is never ever away from its cause. Can it be? Are you ever away from cause called Ishvara? You can't be. Now come to knowledge. What's this? Bottle. What is this? Leaf. Good. What is this? Some fruit, some berry. Okay. What happened to leaf knowledge? Leaf knowledge arose. Leaf knowledge went. Chain knowledge arose. Chain knowledge went. Now, hibiscus. What's the knowledge now? Is the leaf overlapping? No. Only chain. You're saying hibiscus now, correct? Where did this knowledge come from? Lamp. Where did the knowledge of hibiscus go? Tell me, where did it go? Should remember, nothing ever can disappear. Mass cannot be destroyed. Energy cannot be destroyed. Is this knowledge destroyed? Where did it go? Where did it go? It has to go to its cause. What's the cause then? What is the cause? Did it go outside you? Did you see it running away somewhere? Where did it go? Answer is straightforward. Look. From you the knowledge arose, in you the knowledge is sustained, into you the knowledge resolves. Is that true or not? If you understand this, is knowledge inherent to you? No. If it is inherent to you, you should always have knowledge, which means what? Without undergoing a change, you are with knowledge. Without undergoing a change, the knowledge goes, you remain the same. True or not? Am I making sense? Think through this, okay? Because I'm trying to make you see what does Ishvara mean clearly. Any knowledge is Ishvara, and every knowledge is in a conscious being. Upanishad will take you one more step and tell you, you are even the truth of Ishvara. That we will get to later. But that is how we arrive there. That knowledge has no other basis except a conscious being. Therefore, see, the trouble always is this. Swamiji, okay, everything is Ishvara, but how is this Ishvara? If you ask, how is this Ishvara, you ask me, I ask you, what is your concept of Ishvara? See, unless you undo the thinking of Ishvara, now today is what Vaikuntha Ekadashi. The temple here is very crowded. Why? What does everybody have to do today? What speciality of today? There is one special doorway, right? Vaikuntha Dwara. What happens if you go through it today? You will go straight to Vaikuntha. Did you go through the door last year or not? Year before that? Every year you have to go through it, or once is enough? Doubt I have, Which is more required now? And if you go many times, will you go to Swarga many times? Which means you have to come back many times too. Note. Point is this. What are you trying to do? What is the idea? So if I say Vishnu, what comes to your mind? Tell me. What comes to your mind? Perumal. One form will come. Shankha Chakra Gadadhari. You know what some of you would say? Suppose Vishnu is always standing with Shankha Chakra Gada. When you go to the Namaskara, he can't even do this. Hands are all busy. Do you think he's always holding them and standing somewhere? What does Vishnu mean? Vyapnoti iti Vishnu. One who pervades everything is called Vishnu. It's not a joke. Srishti Sthiti Laya Karanam. It's the truth of the manifestation, the origination and the resolution point. There's only one. And I showed you for every bit of knowledge, where is the manifestation, where is the resolution. So Ishvara is not only the cause of everything, without undergoing a change, he is the cause of everything. Which means, if you know the cause, you know Ishvara. You don't know a bottle, through a bottle, not other bottles, okay? Some other bottle is trouble. Through this bottle, you can know Ishvara. When I see the color of gold, I know Ishvara. When I feel the touch of cotton, I know Ishvara. How? It's all knowledge. Anytime you have knowledge, knowledge is an indicator of Ishvara. Pratibodha viditam matam. But what is our usual situation? You will hear all this and still say, Swami, but how to see Ishvara? Is that true or not? When I say how to see Ishvara, how to know Ishvara, I am expecting what? Am I expecting Vishnu with Shankha Chakra? Am I expecting Ayyappan standing? Am I expecting Vithala standing on a brick? Depends on my conditioning. But what am I expecting? Do I have a form in which I want to see Ishvara? Trouble. Suppose you don't have a form, can you see Ishvara? No. Then where is the solution? I told you, wherever there is knowledge, there is Ishvara. And whatever is Ishvara is not you. At one level. And if you understand this, every fact is Ishvara. Everything is Ishvara. And what is Ishvara? All knowledge, which means there is no mistake in it. There is no problem in it. If I see a problem, the problem is where? In my thinking. And that thinking is born of what? Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara's creation allows for this manifestation of subject and object. One Ishvara appears as both subject and object. And still, the subject thinks I am other than the object. This is called magic, Maya. That's all Maya means, okay? That it's magical because nothing really happens, but you see things as though they're happening. Now, if I understand this to some extent, what is Ishvara? It's the law. Law means it's always true. Okay? Light will always travel at 3 lakh kilometers per second. There's no difference there. It's definite. Gravity on Earth is 9.8 meters per second square. No change there. Water will always boil at 100 degrees Celsius. No change there. Your mind will respond in given ways, in given situations. No difference there. If you resist a fact, what will happen? The possibility that you resist a fact is given. That's part of the law, part of the setup. And when you resist the law, there will be pain. That's also part of the setup. But the pain is me is not part of the setup. That's how you feel, and that feeling can be corrected. I have already done that by showing you that all knowledge is not you. You are actually the one who witnesses the arrival and departure of knowledge, including the knowledge that I am sad, I am no good, I am intelligent, I am brilliant, I am lazy. Every one of these, is it passing or not? What is only Ishvara. Because one cause. Therefore, this body, is it evident to you or not? Is it knowledge or not? Every bit of the body is knowledge. For a person studying medicine, every cell is knowledge. Every neuron is knowledge. So, every knowledge is what? Did you get the knowledge from somewhere? The knowledge was already there, which manifested as a neuron, manifested as the cells, manifested as nerves, manifested as brain, manifested everything. Therefore, all you're doing is discovering what's already given. So what are you discovering every day? You're discovering Ishvara. More of Ishvara. But what is Ishvara? One line you want to say. It's all knowledge. And what is all knowledge? Where does it come and go from? One conscious being. How many conscious beings are there? There seem to be many. But one conscious being appears in many forms. This is the basis for our dharma. And Swamiji always would make one statement. Iruppadalla iruvane. Everything that is here is only one Ishvara. There is nothing else. But if you don't see that one, it's just an empty statement. And Swami would always say, you look at it as law, as order. What does it mean? In every situation, I said, it's governed by law of physics, or law of chemistry, or law of biology, or law of psychology, but it's all laws, which you can study and know more about. Now there is one more law, which you can't study and know about. That is called the law of karma. Okay? What is the law of karma? For every action that I have, I told you there are two possible outcomes. One is seen, one is unseen. Drishta, adrishta. Drishta phala you can see. If I drop this bottle, bottle fell down, you can see. Now you take the same bottle of water, let us say it's Ganga Jal, okay? And you take it to the temple and you pour it on Shivalinga. What is Drishta phala? The water is flowing down on the Shivalinga. What is Adrishta Phala? You're getting punya. You're gaining punya. Today you went through Vaikuntha Dwara. What do you gain? Punya. When do you gain punya? When you really had Shraddha that going through the Dwaram means I am really going towards Vishnu. You may not understand anything more, but you have Shraddha. When you do a karma, Drishta Phala, it doesn't matter. Whether I think this bottle will fall or it won't fall, if I leave it, it will fall. But if you went through the Vaikuntha Dwaram thinking, what Vaikuntha, nothing is there, you will get 0 for your phala. No Drishta. Adrishtam depends on not just what you do, it depends on why you do, with what attitude you do. And of course it depends on what is the law. You eat food. What is the phalam? You are full. You gave food to somebody. What is the phalam? Phalam means result, okay, outcome. What's the outcome? Drishta phala is you see that person is satisfied. He says, Triptoham, I am satisfied. What is Adrishta phala? You don't know. What, Swamiji, why should we give food to others? Why don't we hold it for some more days? Suppose you gave away, suppose you have 10 billion rupees. Why not I keep it till next 10 generations? Why should I give to anybody? What will happen if you give? If you give, it's conversion, okay? Different conversion, not the conversion of religion. That's not what we are interested in. Conversion is what here? If you want rupees here and you want to enjoy Vaikuntha when you go there, you better give some money here and you get proper rate, exchange rate. Punyam you will correct. How do you know you get punyam for giving money to a needy person? Shraddha. This Veda tells you. Yajna, dana, tapah, karma, natyajyam. Yajna means relating to Ishvara. Though I told you everything is Ishvara, do I have a relationship with Ishvara? See, there are two kinds of problems. One is I don't know, and I have to know. The second thing is a problem created by habitual thinking cannot be solved purely by cognitive shift. Just because you know, you will not start seeing Ishvara everywhere immediately. You have to build a relationship. And that building a relationship requires relating with Ishvara. To relate with something formless is not easy. Relating with knowledge just like that is not easy. Therefore, we have forms in which we invoke Ishvara. Every form is a candidate for invoking Ishvara. You have a form of Vishnu, you have a form of Shiva, you have Devi. Which form you want to invoke is not a problem. But in that form, what do you invoke? When you do a namaskara in front of a photo, are you doing namaskara to the photo? You yourself got it printed in the studio and brought it yesterday. Are you doing namaskara to that picture? You put your parents' picture after they are no more in your puja room. Are you doing namaskara to the picture? What are you doing namaskaram to? To that person. Is the person there? You go to Dakshinamurti temple in our ashram. Is it Dakshinamurti or is it a piece of stone? Anyone has a doubt it's not stone? It is stone. The sculptor cut the stone to make it. So is it stone or not? Are you doing namaskara to a stone? What are you doing namaskara to? To the Lord. How do you know it's the Lord? That's my bhavana. Why do you say he is there? Because he is everywhere. I can invoke him wherever I want. Right? So to relate to Ishvara is called yajna. Any form of relationship, we have forms, puja, japa, homa, lot of forms. But every time you relate, you strengthen a relationship. When somebody has a birthday, what do you do at home? You ignore it? If you ignore it, you will get beaten up. Correct? February 14th, what should you do? Do you remember or not? February 14th. If you don't remember, somebody will get upset with you. Right? Be my Valentine. Then you have what? Mother's Day. When is Mother's Day? Father's Day. What do we say? Every day is Mother's Day. Matrudevo bhava, Pitradevo bhava. We don't have one day for the mother. Because when every day is for mother, why one special day? When you don't think of mother whole year, you have one day. But I am asking you, how do you have a relationship? What do you do on Christmas? What do you do on Shivaratri? You send messages to people. What's the message? Happy Shivaratri. I don't know what it means, okay? Shiva should be happy, that's all. Right? Happy Diwali. Nice wish. But what I'm saying is, what do you do through the process? You remember a person who never remembers for the whole year. Once a year, you will call him and say, Happy New Year, how are you, how are you? Now you're in touch. If you didn't call for 3 years, you go to him, he'll say, who are you? Correct? How do you build up any relationship? Do you build a relationship by doing something or by not doing anything? Any relationship. You do something, right? So suppose you want to, to get to know somebody. You will have a date. You will call them to a cafe and let's have coffee together. Right? Somebody does that today. Modern day is this kind of style. But that coffee is for what? So you have some interaction. Right? Then you will say, can we go for dinner? Why? Because you want some more interaction. Then we'll go for a movie. Why? You want some more interaction. Then let's go out for a tour, trek, 5 days interaction. Why do you do all this? You're building a relationship. You go to your father, you do namaskaram. Why do you do that? Relationship. You bring some nice, sweets and give it to somebody. Why? Relationship. You bring flowers to somebody. Why? Relationship. You send somebody a gift. Why? Now, this is how we build relationships. How do you build your relationship with Ishvara, who is unknown to you till now? You need to build a relationship. And unless we build the relationship with Ishvara, we don't understand what Ishvara is. And prayer is a karma. Prayer is a karma. Karma means what? It's an action. What's an action? An action is something which is done by you deliberately using your will. Nobody can force you to do prayer. Swamiji, but if I'm in trouble, I don't have a choice. You have a choice. You can go to the pub. You have another choice. What? Hit the wall. You have another choice too. Call the helpline. I'm feeling like committing suicide. Call a helpline. Choices are available. Or you owe money to somebody. Go take care of him so he doesn't ask you for money anymore. You have a choice. Why do you pray? What makes you pray? It's pure expression of free will. Swamiji would never miss a chance to say, prayer is the best or the freest expression of free will. Common question when I say karma, punya, papa. Why is this body born the way it is born? Because of past karma. Correct? Therefore, Hindus are fatalists. What do we say? Sab likha hai. It's all written here, What can I do? It's all written here. If everything is written, then what's the need for doing anything? The writing is what? The writing is your own past karma. Your present karma can counter the past karma and can also add to it. There is prayashchitta karma. You can atone for something done wrong. You can do nitya karma, which is to be done, which is just to gain freedom from obstacles. There is kamya karma, which means you do karma in order to gain something you haven't gained. Who tells you doing a particular karma will give you blessings? Who says that? Where is this written? That if you give food, you earn punyam. If you help the needy, you earn punyam. If you do a prayer, you earn punyam. Who says that? Where is it written? Which science can prove it to you? This is where we say the Veda is a pramanam. It tells you, in reality, your inner leisure is yours forever. You never have to do anything about it. But you don't enjoy it because you claimed what is not yours as yours. You try to take ownership of things which you have no control or say over. You have only a say over your action. You have a choice over your actions because you choose to do. I told you, clap, somebody clapped, somebody didn't clap. Somebody clapped like this, somebody can clap like this too. Choice you have. But the outcome, if you did this, you will get a sound. If you did this, no sound. Different sound. Who decides this? The laws. Karmani eva adhikarahate. Your choice is only with reference to your action. The outcome of your action is not in your hand. Somebody says, you know what? Every time you have an expectation, every time you have some wish, disappointment is a possibility. Therefore, no appointment, no disappointment. So what should you do? Do action without caring for the result. Can you? Can you? If anyone can do it, see, somebody written a book. What? Do action without caring, without bothering for result, or without expecting a result. Is there any idiot who does karma without expecting a result? The fellow who wrote the book, did he expect to sell that book or not? And the fellow who says, do action without expecting result, does he expect me to hear it or not? If he doesn't, why is he talking? This is a wrong way that people have interpreted it. Somebody else says to you, drop all your desires. Desiring is a problem. Is desiring a problem? Is ambition wrong? You know, you read Julius Caesar? Brutus will say, you know, he says a lot of things, and then towards the end he says, and I killed him for his ambition. You know, for ambition you kill somebody? Is ambition wrong? What's the problem in India partly? No ambition. Everything is written here. So you don't have an ambition, no drive. Is ambition wrong? Suppose you don't have an ambition, what will you accomplish in life? Nothing. Ambition is fine. But whether your ambition is fulfilled is not in your hand. Is it? You have an ambition, you did work for it, it may not get fulfilled. Correct? So what should you do? What choice do you have? You have the freedom to have as many ambitions as you want. And you have the freedom to do everything in your capacity. But you don't have the ability to ensure that what you wish for will happen. That's not in your hand. This is a fact. Who governs it? The laws, which are Ishvara. Therefore, karmani adhikara, you have a will to do, you have freedom to do, but you don't have the freedom to ensure a particular outcome. The outcome may be what you expected, may be less than what you expected, may be more than what you expected, may even be opposite of what you expected. Correct? All four possibilities exist in every situation. Now, if this is so, what is our Swamiji's always standard example for this? You wanted to cross the road and catch a bus. I remember Swamiji all the time, so I want to give his examples because I know they work well. You wanted to cross the road and take a bus home. 4 possibilities. You crossed the road, you caught the bus. What is that? Equal to what you wanted. Number 2, you crossed the road and there was a friend who said, hey, come on, I'm driving home. Come, join me. You got a car ride free. More than what you expected. Third possibility is what? You crossed the road, but the bus just went. You missed the bus. And the fourth possibility is what? You were crossing the road. And you woke up asking fundamental questions. Who am I? Where am I? That is the fourth possibility. You were in an emergency ICU of some hospital. All 4 are equally true. Possibilities. How did that happen? That is called the law of karma. What output, what will come from an action is not in my hand. The laws determine it. You were crossing the road and you were crossing the road on a bus coming this way. You didn't see. You could have seen, you didn't see. Once you went, the bus has no way to stop. It is too fast. It will strike you. And how many bones you broke? That is karma. That you survived and managed, somebody took you to ICU is punya karma. Maybe papa also, we don't know. Because you may come back as a person who will never live well. But you don't know. You have no choice also. You might say, I want to die, but they keep you alive. Right? So I'm saying, what is your choice? At that point, you can again say, look, when you regain consciousness, you can say, look, if I am not going to have brain function properly, I am authorizing my caregivers to pull the plug so that you don't put me in a ventilator and keep me alive. You have that choice. Even then you have that choice. But you can't have a choice to say when they pull the plug, you will die next moment. You may not. You may not. You don't even have a choice to die, okay? You can jump into the lake, but you may survive. Choice is only with what you do. And that choice is available at every instant. Keep that in view. My choice, I can keep modifying. Look at how a GPS operates. You're driving somewhere. You say, take me to Mani High School. You give the map. And it tells you, it gives you directions. And then there's a woman's voice or a man's voice, you can choose. And it'll tell you what? 100 meters from this, make a right turn. Then, at the next circle, take the second left. And what did you do? You took the third left. Then what does the GPS tell you? It just says rerouting. Then it'll tell you. Now, go straight, make a right turn. Then again you made a left turn. What will you do again? Person inside the car says, how many times you making mistakes? We won't be there on time. 6 o'clock class talk begins. But what does GPS say? It doesn't get ruffled. It says rerouting. You make the mistake for the next 1 hour. What will it say? Rerouting. Can you be like the GPS? Which means that whatever goes wrong, you cannot change it, but you can act to take corrective measures. You know this fellow? Have you seen this guy? Can you see him from there? Visible? See. You see what happens here? You knock him down. He comes back up. You knock him down. Sometimes he has some problem below. Okay, I have to remove him. What does he do? Never says die. You see that? Can we be like this? Situation will take you down. You can bounce back. If you can be like this guy, any number of times you go down, you're okay. He has inner leisure. He loses it for some time, but he comes back up. How? when you recognize I have no control over situations. I have very little control, not no control. Whatever control I have, I can exercise. But I do not have a say over the outcome of my actions. I definitely have no say over the outcome of my past. I wish I had studied well in school. What will it do for you? I wish I hadn't married this person. What can you do about it now? I wish I was born differently. What can you do about it now? You say, I was doing so well. I was doing very well. You pushed me to go to medicine. I would have done very well in commerce. Dad, you messed my life up. How many times will you say that for? How many years? Till your life ends, till your dad's life ends, you say that. Did anything change? Nothing changed. So what do? We keep harping on things we can't change. And you have no energy to change what you can. So what is intelligent living? Intelligent living is to seek help when I need help, to change what is not useful to me, to bring about a change where I can't, to be able to see what is it I can change and what is it that I cannot change, so that I don't waste my time and effort trying to change what I cannot. Can I change the fact that in this country there is a positive discrimination system? Can I change it? I can't. If I keep saying, if there was no reservation, I would have done well, will it change anything? If I say if the government was not corrupt, India would do well, would India start doing well tomorrow? I can make a beginning. I can refuse to be corrupt. I can. There will be a price for it, but I can refuse to be corrupt. I can refuse to lie. That's my choice. There will be a price for it. Am I willing to pay it? And with all this, there are hidden variables. So many hidden variables. How do you address hidden variables? That's where prayer comes in a big way. If you seek help from another helpless person like you, what are the chances you will get help? You are helpless, one helpless fellow and one helpless felly. They both decide to get married to help each other. What will happen? One helpless plus another helpless is what? Two helpless, okay? It doesn't work. If you want to find help, where should you go? To a source which can give you help. What is a source which is an unfailing source of help? Is all knowledge, all power, Ishvara. All power, Sarva Shaktiman. All capacities belong to Ishvara. If its capacities belong to Ishvara, does he keep it in his pocket? It's all over in the world. Any capacity you see anywhere belongs to Ishvara only. But you have the privilege of getting connected to it. And that privilege is not given, distributed randomly like laddu. You have to earn your privileges. We have to earn grace, and earning grace is through prayer. Earning grace is through action called prayer. Earning grace is through action called giving, sharing. Earning grace is also through deliberate denial to grow. That is called tapas. If you want to grow in a particular area, then you have to undergo certain tribulations sometimes to grow. You put in larger effort. It's tiring, but you put in effort. Which Olympic champion has won without an effort? How many years of sustained training? And how many disappointments for one gold medalist? One guy won. The winner takes it all. There's a song like that. The winner takes it all. What about the rest? You hardly get anything. You see tennis. Number one will get what? Prize money. ATP. Number 2 will get what? After that what? You also ran. That's it. Therefore, we think winning is important. That's if we think that that situation is so important for me. But if you understand, situations come, my freedom is to act upon them. I can do anything I wish, but the outcome is not in my hand. Like the GPS, you keep rerouting till you gain what you want to gain. But before that, you look into what is it that you want to gain. If you decided, I want to become the best player in Coimbatore, that's all your goal is, you will achieve it probably in 1 year. But suppose your goal was to make the Olympics, it's a different goal. If you have Olympics as your goal, your training will be different, your outlook will be different, your life will be different. But if your goal is only, Coimbatore champion, that's where you will be. Would you settle for anything less than the best you can do? You should know what's the best you can do. And Bhagavan says, you can be absolutely free from any sense of lack or disappointment. You can be a person who is happy, comfortable being himself, herself, irrespective of what's outside, irrespective of time, irrespective of place. How? To do that, first step is to recognize Ishvara and understand that I am a role player. The difficulty we have is, I told you right in the beginning, am I a father? Am I a son? Am I a brother? Am I an uncle? Am I an employer? Am I a businessman? Am I a prime minister? What am I? All these I am. What am I? If I am not all of these, what am I? Do you know that person? That person, if you examine, is just a simple conscious being. All this is my knowledge. I am this, I am that is my knowledge. And every night in sleep, what do you not have? No worries, no pains, no difficulty. In fact, you ask for a sedative because you can't sleep, you want to sleep. And what does sleep do? Sleep frees you from all your worries. Why? There is no thinker, there is no thought. There is no thinking. So, is the problem thinking? Therefore, you want always to sleep. No. Life is about relating. You cannot live life without relating. To sleep, you don't have to live. Go into samadhi, you don't have to live all the time. What do you need? You need to live and live relating. And if relationship is a problem, relating is a problem, we can't do anything about it. Can we? Yes, we can. We have to understand how to relate in a healthy way. Which means I should be able to see a role as a role. To see a role as a role means I know son is a role, father is a role, uncle is a role, businessman is a role, prime minister, role, a servant, role. The role's problems belong to the role. They do not belong to the actor. Do you know the actor? And the actor is you who is ever connected to Ishvara. Because all that is Ishvara, and that relationship never ever goes, because whether you know or not, every bit of knowledge which you claim, that I which you have, is all given to me by Ishvara. If you know I am connected to Ishvara, then that connection makes you gives you a name, a devotee, a bhakta. That connection to Ishvara means you are connected to the infallible, you are connected to that which cannot go wrong. Therefore, there is no such thing as a problem in that connection. Therefore, whether you are doing one thing or another, you are a devotee first. You are a devotee last. You are always devotee because you are always connected to Ishvara. And if you understand that the problems of the sun belong to the sun, you don't have a problem. The devotee has no problem. The devotee son has to fall back on the devotee. The devotee father falls back on the devotee. Devotee uncle falls back on devotee. Devotee businessman falls back on devotee. Because what are you? You are a devotee all the way. And to discover that relationship, one has to deliberately relate with Ishvara through prayer, to start with, until that relationship is so well settled that you don't have to do extra work to keep that relationship. Then you can relate prayerfully all the time. And if I can do that, when I keep Ishvara in view, then you will see that everything that I had a problem with is a fact. A fact, possibility I can get angry is a fact. Anger is a fact, but I got angry, I am the cause for it is not true. There are reasons why you got angry, and there are ways to work around them. There are ways to address them. If I can stay with the reality that what my choice is to act, to know what I want, to know what action will connect me to what I want, and to be able to take every outcome in my stride and say, this too shall come to pass. Why? Because that's the way everything is. Everything is changing. There is nothing which sticks forever. And the more I understand Ishvara, the more I know that everything goes by the law. The stars, the sun is going around, is burning for years. That's the way it is. The moon is not bright enough. That's the way it is. The stars twinkle. That's the way they are. They don't say, why are we so small and twinkling? So this, a larger understanding means I know my place in the scheme of things. I am related to that Ishvara who is all-pervading, all-knowledge, and therefore there is nothing which is really lacking on me if I can only see that there is no part of me which is away from Ishvara. I am pervaded by Ishvara. I let Ishvara pervade my life, pervade my thinking, pervade every aspect. Then if everything is Ishvara, I have nothing to complain about. I give back unto Ishvara the ownership which I have claimed, my mind, my body, my action, my accomplishment. It's all governed by Ishvara. To less me, more Ishvara. More Ishvara, less me. So what is the way of life? From no Ishvara, you go to only Ishvara. That we will try to see. It's a big topic. I don't know how much. I'm trying to make justice to it, but we will see more tomorrow and day after. Okay? Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. I've said a lot of things today. If you find any